Hey, good evening, folks. I wanted to make a quick video in relation to what's going on with the cartels and drug legalization in America. Uh, Drug legalization could be a very good thing. The problem is the nincompoops that Americans elect are corrupt, incompetent jackholes who purposely screw up things like drug legalization and homelessness. And they do it because they use us for corruption. They get funding to fix it or help us, and then they steal it all. They use us to distract people. They use it to manipulate people's emotions. Lots of things they use homelessness and drug addiction for. None of it good. And then they get and with drugs being criminalized, they can throw people in for-profit prisons. They're not doing it to drug users right now, but they're gonna, because people are sick of what they've allowed. But here's the thing: you can legalize drugs and not let people smoke fentanyl on the metro light rail in LA. That's possible. They could do that. They're just choosing not to. They could legalize drugs and have places where it's legal to use them, but tell you if you're using fentanyl or smoking meth in a park, then you are going to prison for a year. They could do that. And then you let the people who know how to behave, who are willing to follow some basic steps, willing to not smoke it on the metro train, they can do their dumb stuff. You take care of it when they behave badly, and you fix bad behavior. And we don't have the world's largest prison population. The government's not micromanaging people and shoving money in their pocket and all the bad stuff. And then you don't have the cartels running Mexico. It's a win-win for everyone. But unfortunately, Americans keep electing demons and scumbags and corrupt son of a guns. Same thing goes for, mental institutions. Mental institutions were shut down because they were so poorly run that they became torture centers. And then you had a corrupt politicians and corrupt judges and people in communities using mental illness to lock people up so that they could steal their stuff, so they could abuse them in the mental institution. But that doesn't mean we can't have mental institutions where we aren't torturing people. We're capable of doing that. They just choose not to, because we're ruled by sickos who want to give all your money to foreigners who hate us and think that it's their right to screw kids, take all our money. I go back and forth with prostitution. I find it absolutely abhorrent. Uh, I find it gross. I don't want anything to do with it. But at the same time, it is the world's oldest profession, right? We've got this problem with women and girls being smuggled all over this country. First off, who are these Johns that are impregnating 11-year-olds? And secondly, can we not have prostitution without allowing women to be trafficked? Can we not have legal brothels to where the women get interviewed and we make sure that they're not being trafficked, that they're not being forced to give up their money to some illiterate third worlder? I think we could do that. I think we could have legal prostitution and make sure that women aren't being trafficked into it. I think we could do that. They just choose not to. Except for in Nevada, right? But pretty sure the women on the ranches and stuff aren't being trafficked. I don't know. I don't follow it much, but we need to stop using the examples of, California, Philly, Chicago, these Democratic strongholds with these corrupt, demonic politicians who screw everything up on purpose for more money, more power, more corruption, more evil, and stop saying that, oh, well, we can't possibly legalize drugs because look at California, look at Oregon. But that's not just drug legalization. They didn't just legalize drugs. They legalized the most awful, disgusting behavior you can imagine. If they just would have kept the behavior requirements from 2017, but said we're not going to throw you in jail just for using dope if you maintain it and you're not bothering people and you're not using it around kids and on the train and the buses, we won't throw you in prison for that, but you got to behave. And if you don't, we're going to lock you up and you're going to sober up and you're going to have a bad time. But they couldn't do that. They could. They chose not to. But that doesn't mean it's a good example of drug legalization. That means that's a good example of why you should elect corrupt, demonic degenerates. We can do better, America. We deserve better. And hopefully we can rally the troops. But don't discount good ideas because of, one or two jackasses failing at it. I appreciate everybody's time. Thanks for tuning in. I'd appreciate a like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Suggest a topic. Tell me I'm ugly. You ain't going to hurt my feelings. Otherwise, have a good evening. There'll be a Cash App in the description. It's not a toll booth. I appreciate you tuning in. Take care. God bless.